What's up guys? The PS2 needs no introduction. Nostalgic, probably the greatest console to ever do it, and a library of games bigger than the whole in Ace's chest. With a library so vast, there's bound to be some games lost in us all, so today I want to talk about some games you probably don't know about. Now we're talking about old games all the time, so chances are you might see this list and be like, man, I played these games all the time! This dude is trash! I'm sure there's some people that played these games, but if you forgot about them, let me jog your memory. By the way, these aren't full-blown reviews, I'm just gonna give you a bit of info as well as my thoughts playing them for a bit. So let's get into it. Up first we got Justice League Heroes. This game dropped in 2006 and was developed by Snowblind Studios, who made up all this gay game around this time. Now, if you've played any of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games or X-Men Legends, it's the same gist here. Action RPG, overhead camera, where you play with your favorite superheroes. Now, here's the thing about this game. Justice League Heroes and Ultimate Alliance came out in the same year and the same month. Hell, Justice League Heroes came out first. And after playing it for 30 to 45 minutes, I understand why people don't talk about it like that. The game plays good and sounds good, but that's really all it has going for it. Voice acting was hit or miss. You can only play with 2 characters as opposed to 4. You can play with core members of the League, but you can't switch between them. They're assigned to you in each mission. No minimap, and the cutscenes I was getting, I could really have done without. Like, I got a short cutscene for a boss fight, and this is how Batman and Superman interact. I think he wants us to turn back. You truly are the world's greatest detective. And then we're back in the game. Why? I'm expecting a corny line or two for a superhero game, but for a cutscene, that was pointless. Ultimate Alliance's cutscenes make an otherwise simple story good. You get to see these characters interact and banter as they plan for their next mission. And after watching all the cutscenes, there are some nice moments, but not enough. The game's in serious mode, which I guess is on brand for DC. I wasn't hooked in, but if you're a DC fan, it's worth checking out. Up next is Altered Beast. This game dropped in 2005 and was made by Sega, which is surprising. I was expecting Capcom, honestly. And it is based on the original version of the game, which came out in 1988. I don't have much to work on in terms of story, but basically you're playing with Luke Custer. This guy's a genome cyborg, which basically means he can turn into different beasts. Luke crash lands onto an island, he's struggling to remember his mission, and he's basically fighting these demons along the way. At least I think they're demons. This game has told me nothing yet. I want to say I played a whole hour, and honestly, it's not that bad so far. The selling point is definitely the transformations. As far as I can tell, the game's rated T, which is shocking because the transformations are gnarly as hell. You get a full display of this muscles ripping and tearing as it transforms. I can understand why this game got less than stellar reviews and why the release for North America was cancelled. But the concept for it is pretty cool. I wouldn't mind if Sega took a crack at it again. Up next is Shadow of Rome. Also came out in 2005, and unlike the last one, it was made by Capcom. So here we got 2 protagonists, Roman soldier turned gladiator Agrippa, and nephew of Julius Caesar, Octavianus. Julius Caesar was assassinated, Agrippa's father was framed, which got him put in the Colosseum, and Octavianus knows something is up, so he's trying to figure out why. The game looks pretty good, and the combat goes kinda hard. With Agrippa, you don't have any set weapons. You can pick up anything off the ground. Well, basically anything. Swords, shields, maces, and the comically large axe or hammer. You can deadass stop somebody out, then roar to the crowd. Octavianus handles the stealth portion, and honestly, I'm not that excited about it. Reviews were middling, but you could honestly get some mileage out of this game. There was talk of a sequel, but obviously it was a failure, and we got Dead Rising instead. Funny how things work out. And finally, we got The Legend of K. Dropped in 2005 and was made by Neon Studios. Neon Studios? What did they make? Santa Claus Jr.? What the fuck? We got an action platformer here, and to summarize the story, pandas, rabbits, cats, and frogs live together in harmony, and everything changed when gorillas and rats attacked. Now, platforming here isn't as smooth as your slides or ratchets, but it is smoother than a Thai Tasmanian tiger. You get your colorful characters, and on top of that, you got a solid combat system which includes magic. Now, I really understand if you know this one because it got a Switch release in 2018. But even with that, I don't see people talking about it like that. It has all the ingredients it needs to be a solid platformer, so it made me wonder why it just came and went. But then I remembered it came out in 2005. It never stood a chance. Now, the game got average reviews, but as a fan of platformers, this game was a welcome find. We got a lot of 3D platformers back then, and even though they weren't all good, you could really appreciate how different they all were. But that platforming mascot era is gone, and The Legend of K really makes me miss it. And we are done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. My links will be in the description. And please tell me, do you remember any of these games? Have you played any of them? What are some other PS2 games no one knows about? Are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.